Hello, welcome back. Let us continue solving our past exam papers on sequences and series. The first question for today, it says, suppose a radioactive material loses 1/3 of its mass per year. If its current mass is 81 gram, then how much will its mass in grams just after 7 years? Every year it's losing 1/3 of its mass. So what does that mean? Let's try to. The current mass, it's given 81 gram. At the end of first year, the mass will be 81 minus 1/3 of 81, because every year it's losing 1/3 of its mass. Means 81 minus 1/3 of 81 will do, which is equal to, this implies 81 minus, 1/3 of 81, you can simplify by 3 this by 3, 27. So when you subtract 27, it will be 54. At the end of the second year, the same way, it will be the first year. At the end of the first year, already 54 left. So this 54 minus again 1/3 of the 54, we can calculate it, which is equal to 54 minus 1/3 of 54, it will be 18. You can subtract 18, which is equal to 36. Yeah, when you subtract, you'll get 36. Again, in the third year, at the end of the third year, the 36 minus 1/3 of 36, again we'll calculate it, which will be 36 minus 12, which is 24. Now that's enough. Let us check now. If you consider this one as G1, this one as G2, and this one as G3, if it is geometric, necessarily what condition has to be satisfied? G2 over G1, it must be equal to G3 divided by G2. So when you divide this with this, it will give you the same result. When you divide this with this, you'll get a constant that is going to be the common ratio R. It will be 2/3. You can divide and check it. Therefore, this is geometric, and we have G1 already. So what is asked? We are asked to find the mass at this after 7 years. So G7 is equal to G1 r to the power of 6. You can do it because the formula Gn is equal to G1 r to the power of n minus 1. We can do. So which is equal to, what's G1? The first, at the end of the first year, that is 54, has to be multiplied. The R is 2/3, the whole to the power of 6. Here we need to be systematic. It's all about the calculation. 54 times 2 to the power of 6 is 64 over 3 to the power of 6 means we can say it 3 cube, that is 27 times 27. We can be systematic here. So let us simplify this by 27(1), this by 27(2), and 2 times 64 will be 128 over 27 remain. We can simplify further, so the answer will be obviously C. The second question, what is the sum of all multiples of 3 between 20 and 200? Multiples of 3. This kind of question, since it says multiples of 3, obviously it's arithmetic, and the common difference is, it is 3, because between 20 and 200, the first term which comes after 20, that's a multiple of 3, is 21. This is the first term, so we can take A1 as 21. It goes by 3 difference. The next one will be 24, and then 27. It continues, it will not end up. That's why the common difference is 3. But how many terms are there, and what's the last term? To know the last term, first of all we have to divide 200 by 3 and check. It is 6 times 18, again 6 times 18, 2 left, but the 2, this remainder has to be 0. Previously we did one question like this type. This 2 has to be 0, so we have to subtract 2 from 200. The last term will be 198. Okay, this is AN, or the last term. So how many terms are there now? To get the number of terms, we can calculate AN by the formula an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. We know an 198, which is equal to, what about the a1? That is 21, plus the d is already, we say 3, so the 3 will multiply each of them, 3n minus 3. I multiply with the bracket the 3. Then what we have, 198 is equal to 21 minus 3 will be 18 plus 3n. This goes, it will be subtracted. 180 is equal to 3n, this is n, so we can divide by 3 both sides, so n is equal to 60. What does the 60 mean? Between 20 and 200, how many multiples of 3 are there? 60 numbers are there, so we are asked the sum of all the 60 terms. So sum of n formula is n over 2 in bracket a1 plus an. So the sum of 60, because we have 60 terms, is equal to 60 over 2 in bracket the a1 is 21 plus the last term an is 198, which is equal to 30 in bracket. When you add it and when you complete it, it will be, the final result will be 6570. These are the sum of all multiples of 3 which are found between 20 and 200. The next question, it says a certain meeting hall has 20 rows of seats, and there are 20 seats in the first row, 20 seats in the second row, 24 seats in the third, and so on. How many seats are there on the last 20th row of the hall? So what's given in the hall? There are 20 rows. Each row they have their own number of seats. As an example, what's given, first row it has 20 seats, and the second row it has 22 seats, and the third 24. It goes like that. As you see here, it is increasing. It's increasing by 2, so obviously it's arithmetic sequence. This is arithmetic progression, and we can take a1 as 20 because the first row, and the common difference is 2 because it's increasing by 2. And then we are asked how many seats are there on the last or the 20th row of the hall, so we need to find a20. So what's an? We know the formula an, a1 plus n minus 1 times d. So a20 is equal to a1 plus 19d, because 20 minus 1, the a1 is 20 plus 19 times the common difference 2. When you multiply 38 plus 20, that's going to be 58. That is the number of seats on the last row, the 20th row. The answer will be, it's B. The next question, what is the sum of the series? The series is the summation -1 the power of n, then 3 the power of -2n. This is asked. When we try to simplify, we can bring down 3 the power of -2n, because the exponent here negative. We can bring it down as a denominator, and then the exponent will be positive by the exponential rule. And then the next step, 3 the power of 2n, we can write it as 3 the power of 2 the whole the power of n. Like, remember, if a the power of mn is there, we can write it a the power of m the whole the power of n. We can write it in this way by exponential rule. Why? Because 3 square is 9, then the power of n, both the numerator and the denominator, they will have the same exponent. Now I can write the summation -1 over 9 the whole the power of n. N starts from 1 to infinity. This is, again, it is a convergent series. Obviously g1 will be -1 over 9, the one which is found in the bracket, because n starts from 1. When you insert 1, it will be -1 over 9, and the common ratio will be -1 over 9. Since it is convergent, because the common ratio is -1 over 9 is found between -1 and 1, we can apply the sum at infinity formula, that is g1 over 1 minus r. So this summation, which is the sum at infinity, the g1 is negative 1 over 9, the whole over 1 minus the common ratio, again negative 1 over 9. So this is going to be negative 1 over 9 over, this will be added because negative 1 plus 1 over 9. This is upper, lower, and this is upper. Okay, this is denominator part together, the whole over. So this will be negative 1 over 9 times, when you add it, it will be 10 over 9, then because this is 1 by crisscross, so we'll flip it, 9 over 10. Then it will cancel out, negative 1 over 10 left. Negative 1 over 10 is not found in the choice, but we can convert this one into decimal, negative 0.1. This one we can find it at C. Next question. The population of a certain country is 80 million with growth rate of 2% per year. Given that, the box, which of the following is the best approximation of the population in million after 10 years? Okay, such kind of population growth questions will be solved as by the formula Gn is equal to G1 r to the power of n. We're not going to apply the r to the power of n minus 1 this time, simply r to the power of n, because it has its own pattern. This is the formula for Gn. And what's r? This is a secret. The r will be 1 plus the rate. The rate, it is 2%. If it is increasing, if it is, this one is for increasing case. If it is decreasing, the r will be 1 plus the rate, minus, it's going to be minus, sorry, in case of decrement. But it's increasing here, the population is growing. So what is a common ratio? We can take G1 as the 80 million as it is, but the rate, let's get it here, it will be 1 plus 2% is 0.02. That's going to be 1.02. This is the rate. The common ratio will be this one. Therefore, we are asked the population after 10 years means we need to find G10. G10 is equal to the G1 is 80 million times 1.02 to hold the power of 10. This one is given, so 80 million times 1.02, it is, we already said it, 1.024 times 10 the power of negative 17. It's given. No, it's not 1.02. What is given? The power of 10, it's here, the last one, so it's 1.22. We'll take. So when you multiply, it will be 97.6 million. That is the population after 10 years. Next question. It says, what is the sum of the summation to the power of 2n plus 1 the whole over 5 the power of n minus 1. N starts from 1 to infinity. You can do by simplification, simplifying the bracket, but by substitution even you can do it. How to do by substitution? First, insert 1 in place of n. When you insert in the upper part, it will be 2 times 1 plus 1 will be 3, so the power of 3 means it's 8. The lower part will be 1 minus 1 is 0, so just 8 remain. So you can write 8 only, plus, if you insert 2 to the power of 5, that is 32, over the lower one, 2 minus just 5 remain, again plus, if you insert 3, 128 over 25. It continues in this way. This time, what's G1, the first term, that's 8, and what's the common ratio? Divided, like the second divided by the third, like 5 over 32 divided by 8 means multiply by 1 over 8. So 5 over 16, we have 1, 24, 256. The second term is not 5 over 32, we have to correct it, sorry. The second term is 32 over 5 divided by 8 means multiply by 1 over 8. So by 8 1, this by 8 4. That's going to be 4 over 5. 4 over 5 is the same as 0.8, that's less than 1, so it's convergent. So we can apply the sum at, obviously it is a convergent series, so we can apply the sum at infinity is equal to g1 over 1 minus r formula. So the sum at infinity, that means this one, is equal to, the g1 is 8 over 1 minus 4 over 5, which is 8 over, when I subtract, I'll get 1 over 5. So this 1 over 5 will be flipped and multiplied, so 8 times 5 over 1, that's going to be 40. So the answer will be A. The next question, a business association gets a net profit of 3,000 at the end of each month. Just after the 5th year, its amount was 230,000. What was the starting amount of the business? It is in BR. So in this question, what is given, the profit is 3,000 in each month. At the end of each month means monthly the money is increasing by 3,000. So this 3,000 will be the common difference. Constantly it's increasing by 3,000 means it's going to be arithmetic sequence, and the common difference will be 3,000. We can take it, this one, as common difference. It is monthly, and then just after the 5th year, its amount will be 230,000 means 5 year, how many months are there? We have to calculate that. That means 5 will be multiplied by 12, because 1 year has 12 months. So 5 years will be 5 multiplied by 12, which will be 60 months will be there. That means we are given a 60. The last term is given already, 230,000. This is given also. And then what was the starting amount of the business means we need to find the first term, that's A1. You know, A60 is equal to A1 plus 59D. This formula, we know it. From AN is equal to A1 plus N minus 1 times G from this. But we know A60, that is 230,000, is equal to A1, we don't know, plus 59 times 3,000. Then we need to multiply this and then shift it to be subtracted. So you'll get A1, that's going to be 53,000. The answer will be C. Next question. If AN is a sequence with A1 2, we are given A1 is equal to 2 and AN plus 1 is equal to AN plus 4. It's a recurrence sequence. We can get now the next terms using this formula. For n greater or equal to 1, it says for n greater or equal to 1. So that means if I insert 1 now, because greater or equal to 1, if I insert 1 here, I'll get A2, because 1 plus 1 will be A2. So A2 will be what? It's A1 plus 4, because when I insert 1 here, I will insert 1 here also. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. So A2 is equal to A1 plus 4. What's A1? It's given already, 2. So A2 will be 2 plus 4, that is 6. So the A2 is equal to 6. Keep it. Okay, let me remove this one again. I insert already 1. Let me insert 2 now again. If I insert 2 here, A3 will be A2 plus 4. What did I do? I insert just 2 here. Here also 2. So 2 plus 1 will be 3. So we can get the third term. A3 will be the A2 6 plus 4, that's going to be 10. So A3 is equal to 10. Now see the pattern here. We can stop and we can observe the pattern here. Here the difference is 4. Here also the difference is 4. So it's arithmetic. We can take a1 already 2, the common difference is equal to 4. Then what is asked? We are asked the summation n starts from 1 to 35 means we need to find sum of 35, which is 35 over 2 in bracket 2a1 plus 34d. Better to apply this formula. You know, sum of n, there are two formulas we can use. One of the formula, sum of n is equal to n over 2 into a1 plus an. We can apply this formula, or sum of n is equal to n over 2 in bracket 2a1 plus n minus 1 times d. You can apply either of the two formulas. I prefer the second one because I have a1 and I have d, because I don't know a35 this time. So sum of 35 is equal to 35 over 2 in bracket 2a1 means I will multiply 2 times 2, that's 4, plus 34 times d. The d is 4, so 34 will be multiplied by 4. We can keep it, so that's going to be 35 over 2 bracket, when you multiply it will be 16, 136 plus 4 is 140. So when you simplify it will be 70. You know, this means this is equal to, so 70 I will multiply by 35. Okay, let's multiply it. 7 times 5 35, and 7 times 3 is 21 plus 3 24, and there is the 0 at last, so the answer will be 2450, which is C. The next question, again, what is the sum of the series? It is infinite series again. The series is 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2 minus 1. N starts from 0 to infinity, says. Okay, this we can write it 2 square over, this is minus n, 2 square over times, first of all, what means 3 to the power of 2 minus n? This means 3 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of negative n. We can decompose by exponential rule. 3 to the power of 2 minus n means 3 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of negative n. Remember, a to the power of m plus n is the same as a to the power of m times a to the power of n. There is a rule. So if this plus, if it is minus, I can make this minus. The same pattern. So what does this mean? This means 3 square over 3 to the power of n. Again, we can write it in this way because this exponent is negative. We can bring it down. So this summation, it can be written as the summation 2 square times 3 square over 3 to the power of n. N starts from 0 to infinity. Don't forget 3 square and 2 square and 3 square, both of them are constant. So we can multiply them and then take outside. So the summation will be 2 square 4 times 9 will be 36. 36, keep it outside, the product of the upper. So what left? 1 over 3 the power of n left. That means I can write it 1 over 3 the power of n. N starts from 0 to infinity. Now this is a convergent sequence. You can take g1 as 1 because I insert 0 here. 1 over 3 the power of 0 is 1, and the common ratio is the one which is found in the bracket since it is simplified, 1 over 3. So we can apply the formula g1 over 1 minus r. g1 over 1 minus r, that's going to be 1 over 1 minus 1/3, which is going to be 1 over again 2 over 3. When we flip it, it will be 3 over 2. Therefore the whole sum will be now, because 36 is outside, you can bring and multiply now. 36 times 3 over 2. So by 2 and this by 2, 18. When you multiply, it's going to be 54. So the answer is not found in the choice, but this is the correct answer. Maybe there will be some kind of type error. The last question It says an is an arithmetic sequence with a1 given, a1 is equal to 5, and a5 is also given, that is 21. Then the partial sum, the sum of an from what to what? From n1 to 30. This is the same as a30 anyways. I mean sum of 30, sum of the 30 terms. But what does it mean a5? From here we can get the common difference. a5 means a1 plus 4d, which is given a5, 21, is equal to the a1 also, we know it, 5 plus 4d. When you shift it, this is going to be, when you bring it, it's going to be 16, which is equal to 4d. If you divide by 4 both sides, the d will be 4. We have got the common difference. Now what is sum of 30? It will be 30 over 2 in bracket 2 times a1 plus n minus 1 times d. So, but it is 30, so 30 minus 1 will be 21. I can say here 21d, 29d I mean. So 30 over 2 is 15 in bracket 2a1 means 2 times 5, 10 plus 29 times d. When you complete this bracket, it will be 1890. That's going to be the answer, which is not found again in the choice, but try to focus on the steps. What's given? The first term given, and also the fifth term given, and it's arithmetic. Fifth term is equal to first term plus 4d, because n minus 1 times d. So the fifth term we know it's 21, and the first also 5. When we shift it will be 16, divided by 4, the common difference will be 4. And then the sum from 1 to 30 means sum of 30, sum of n formula, sum of n over 2 times 2a1, n over 2, then 2a1 plus n minus 1 times d. You can apply this formula. So when you say sum of 30, which is 30 over 2, you know 30 divided by 2 is 15, and 2a1 means 2 times 5, because a1 5, which is 10, plus 29 times the common difference 4. When you multiply and do it, it's going to be this result. So these are some of the questions which are selected from past paper. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share to your friends.